Wally West, and you, an idiot, if you're not watching Southern Comic Geek. You hear that, Stimpy? Yeah, I heard it. I'm a Northern Comic Geek.
What's going on YouTube? Southern Comic Geek. More northern right now, but not as northern-ish. It's northern to me. I'm in Tennessee. That's right. I'm in Tennessee today. Still on the comic crawl, still on the comic hunt, if you will. And as you can tell by the backdrop, I am in the hotel room. What is going on? How are you doing, Apex? How are you doing? What's up, Biggie? Biggie. What is up? What is up? So yeah, we are just in the final legs of this Thanksgiving run. Plan on hitting up a lot of books, actually meeting up with people in the community both tomorrow and Saturday. And that is that. Wanted to get these hauls out of the way. What's going on, Rock City? How are you? CFAP, what is going on? Hopefully everybody's full of some turkey dressing or whatever your heart's desire is. I just had some Cracker Barrel Thanksgiving feast just a while ago, and here we are right now. Yeah, so I'm in Franklin, so just south of Nashville right now. What is going on, Legion of Comics? I was down your way-ish not too long ago. I was in Atlanta a couple of days ago before I headed up to Chattanooga yesterday. How are you doing? One of the channel members. Speaking of channel, then we got Firehawk 2069. What is going on? So speaking of channel members, did want to shout out those channel members, people that are supporting the channel through their monthly membership. And I appreciate that. And if you are interested in joining the channel, the links are in the description below. There are benefits with channel membership, obviously, not the least of which are our giveaways. ASM 252 this month, to be exact. So only a few more days to get in on that by either joining the channel and getting 10 entries to win that book, or by doing a super chat in live shows like this. So there you go. Was the FAP of the Mac man. Thanks for look. The last time I was in Atlanta, I said, "Hey, why don't we meet up?" You're like, "Well, it's only so many hours to Atlanta, but with Atlanta traffic, it'll probably be even worse." So there you go. All right, so let's show what I got off in Hot Atlanta first. I think that's where I'm gonna go. So so there were several different comic shops that I hit up, not only in Atlanta, but then also in Chattanooga yesterday. And since today's Thanksgiving, no one is going to be open, but hear that they're going to be open bright and early in the morning. And that's where I plan to hit some up there in Nashville proper. Although there are some down here in Franklin that I'll probably hit up either tomorrow afternoon or Saturday morning. So let's see, what did I get these from? These are from Dave's Comics in Atlanta. By the time I got through with work Tuesday and my wife and them had gotten back, I did not want to try to make it to Dave's with only 30 minutes to look. If you're familiar with Dave's Comics in Atlanta, I would suggest that you go there if you get a chance. But he also owns another store whose name I forget every single time. I think it's Comics and Cards. It's more geared towards, it's a much bigger space, and it's much more geared towards the gaming market, meaning like Magic and so on and so forth. But they do have lots of wall books, lots of dollar bins, lots of goodies to get. So they stay open because of that market that they serve. And I decided to go down there and stay at Tuesday. So this is what I picked up. This is Red Hood and the Outlaws. This is from the Rebirth edition. So they had several different boxes. Of course, they had the dollar bins, they had the $3 variants, and that's where this one was at. Look at that, creeper, the creeper. They had the $3 variants, and then they had the $5 bins, and then they had some other bigger books that were priced as marked. This is another one of the variants. Of course, this is an homage to the first appearance of Ra's al Ghul. So I got it strictly for the cover. Neil Adams was doing several homages to his own work during this time, and this is one of them for this Martian Manhunter goodness. All right, this is one of the ones. So before I was leaving there, I said, look, do you got any Golden Age? Do you got any bronze, silver stuff that I'm not seeing out there in the boxes? And understandably so, because you don't want people walking off with it, mispricing it, and then, stuff like that. So, they said, well, it's over here in this metal cabinet. And I found some goodies over there. So this is Incredible Hulk 170. So we got a 20 center here. Incredible Hulk 179. Incredible Hulk 254. So I now have Incredible Hulk 199 forward. So all of the Hulks. So you got Totally Awesome Hulk, which were some of the latter runs because I'm not a big fan of that run. Obviously, Immortal Hulk, Incredible Hulk, Hulks, plural, all those. So 200 or 199 rather forward I have, and this was the last one of the last holdouts was the first appearance of the UFOs, and it was in there priced at $3 whole dollars. Made me hollers for sure. Go to Great Escape in Madison. I am going there. Plan on meeting up with somebody there, and but yeah. I went to Great Escape last time I was in Nashville, and so it is a pretty cool store. I know they have several different locations, but I'm almost positive that's the same location I went to. Incredible Hulk 145 with a nice, well-placed date stamp right there. So some more Incredible Hulk goodness. I think this is the first appearance of Godspawn there. Then we got Free Comic Book Day, Star Wars Tales, A Jedi's Weapon. So this is part of the story where Anakin loses his lightsaber, and Obi-Wan tries to tell him, it's important to hold on to it. Ironically enough, right? Because he didn't hold on to it after Obi-Wan chopped his arms off. But that is a story that's told in Star Wars Tales, but that's the Free Comic Book Day version of that. We got Batman Annual number 9. Batman Annual number 9. Not specifically collecting the annuals, but when I can find them on the cheap and I can get those sequential numberings that I like, so I can say, like I did when I had my Uncanny X-Men run, I've got all those and the annuals. Batman Annual number 11. Then we got some newer stuff, Star Wars 42. And then they priced these like they were in the back issue bins, which I wasn't too thrilled with because I was hoping that they were up there with the $3 books, meaning that I'd get essentially $1 off. But I went ahead and still got them anyway. Star Wars 43, 44. $64. And I didn't even really specifically go to the dollar bins. I know that's sacrilege, right? But when you're riding around with 5 other people, it gets a little cramped. Knowing that I'm picking up 143 books from the comic Fooster himself, hashtag Foo is a furry. But I'm picking those up Saturday morning, so I've got to save my room. So I couldn't buy a whole bunch of dollar bin. I did pick up a few things to sell, but mostly it's just stuff that I wanted. And knowing I had to have that extra room, but I wandered over to the dollar bins. It was calling me pennies, nickels, quarters, dimes. Spend it all while there's still time. What? Come in just in time for Foo is a furry. That's right. What's up, VV? So gotta get it. Some Turok goodness. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 copies of Turok number 1. They were in the dollar bin. Stevie B would love it. He would be thrilled. And that makes me having 50 copies even of Turok. So I have the Valiant Validated Signature version. I have 2 of the gold and the rest of the regular ones, like the ones you just saw. That's right. I'm cornering the market, man. I'm trying to create a scarcity. 143 comics. So I was trying to explain to my wife. I said, she goes, "Why'd you get all the same book? Are you planning on selling those?" Well, it was funny because she was trying to say, oh, that's a popular book. I was like, no, it's not. This is one of those guilty pleasure books. And so quickly she wanted me to explain to her what a guilty pleasure book is. A guilty pleasure book is simply that you should feel guilty about buying so many copies or spending so much money on it because it's worthless or you've already got so many copies, and yet you feel pleasure in it. So it's a guilty pleasure book. And Turok and some of the other Valiant Chromium goodies are just that for me. We got Red Hood and the Outlaws 21. This is the 80th anniversary of Superman variant cover. Star Wars 63. Red Hood and the Outlaws number 20, another variant cover there. Uncanny Avengers number 11. Didn't want to pass up a Rogue Gambit cover. Then we got some newer stuff. Star Wars High Republic Adventures number 10. I think that this is where it cuts off because IDW, or it might be a couple of more issues in it, but IDW lost the rights to the Star Wars titles. So the High Republic Adventures, or like this one right here, the monster at Temple Peak. They lost the rights to them. Dark Horse got those back. So Marvel's still going to be producing Star Wars comics, obviously. But anyways, this is issue 3 because I missed that. We got Totally Awesome Hulk number 3. Was never really a big fan of this series, and that's why it was one of the lone holdouts of the latter issues. Not that it's hard to find; it's just I wasn't a big fan. But I'm a completionist, and yes, it is a disease. Star Wars 41 from the Jason Aaron run there. Then I found Star Wars the Kanan, the Last Padawan number 3. Not one of the more desirable books in that miniseries, but still a good book to have with all the speckety spec. Hulk Annual number 12. Exo Manowar number 7. This is not a bad chapter in the Exo Manowar mythos. I will say Dennis Hopeless Haslam is writing it. The art's okay. I wouldn't say it's the worst one. Probably Acclaim is probably the worst one. Or maybe even the latter issues of the original volume of Exo. But if you're reading that Exo, don't think that this is the best Exo has to offer. If you've never read Volume 3, which is Robert Venditti, I think they did 50 or 52 issues. That's the best one to get. Right? Execute Order 66. Exo Manowar number 8. This is the pre-order copy. Walking Dead Deluxe number 27, the Finch cover. You meet the governor in there. I'm Batman. Number 2 and number 3. I will say that I'm not obviously thinking that Jace or this Batman can replace Bruce in any way, but he seems to be kind of carving out his own little niche, kind of like the Robins had to, right? because they would all live under the shadow of Dick Grayson to some extent. I'm not a big fan of the Ridley, the writer, but it's stomachable. That sounds like you don't really even want to read it. I've read much worse. Tini Howard would be a much worse writing reading option there. And I bought this, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to hold on to it or sell it. I think I've kind of decided to sell it. Avengers 672. This is the second print, the lenticular version, but this is the second print, regular version, which those are a lot more desirable, and love to people like to pick them up. I found, and I've already sold them, 11 copies of Night Stalkers still in the poly bag newsstand. Yes, that's right, 11 copies of Night Stalkers newsstand. Yep, I sold them. Messaged somebody on IG and they wanted them, so they are now theirs. Now, that was the first trek. I picked this up on my way over to Atlanta, which was the last one that I needed to complete the Colossus. So I picked that one up, and so I'll probably do an unboxing video with all of them. I've already opened the Magneto because it didn't have a part to it, but the rest of them, build the Age of Apocalypse Colossus there. And so I'm going to wait to open that one back up. And then, yeah, exactly, Roxy. Then I found this in Chattanooga yesterday, the Bat Raptor. Found it at 2nd and Charles, no less. So pretty dope. The Bat Raptor is going home with me, and promptly be taking some pictures with Batman. So on the way up to Chattanooga, I knew that Comic Jabroni, y'all remember Comic Jabroni? The last videos that he did was a trip that he went up to Chattanooga. Unfortunately, it was shortly after that that he was no longer with us. But so I went back to those videos, and it's kind of, one of those things where you're watching somebody and you kind of realize they're no longer with you type deal. I mean, because it's been a little over a year since he's been gone, but all the energy and excitement that he had. But anyway, he stopped at Dalton, Georgia on the way up to Chattanooga, and I did the same thing. And then I went to the big shop that he really recommended for Batman. And these are the finds that I got. So there's a store in Chattanooga called Infinity Flux. Okay. If you're ever in Chattanooga, I do recommend that you go and check them out. They are a really nice store, clean, well kept, very nice, and personable. Because sometimes, you realize, you think that, hey, it's kind of gone, but you start watching it again and realize it's not. But they're really nice. And like I said, if you're ever in Chattanooga, go check out Infinity Flux. So I picked up another one of those guilty pleasure books, Bloodshot #1, some BWS goodness. Talking about BWS, VV, I just got bought a Conan 19 and 20 last night on Whatnot. Another one of the guilty pleasure books, CSI Lords #1. I also stopped at another 2nd and Charles in Marietta. That's where I got that PSI Lords and the Shadow Man Zero. So 2nd and Charles, which is owned by Books A Million. If you're around a 2nd and Charles, go check them out. They routinely have sales. And right now they're running a buy 5, get 5 free. None of their books in order. So you really want to be willing to do a lot of digging, have enough time to do some digging, or be inclined to do digging in order to find some goodies. Yeah, I know, crazy, right? So yeah, another Shadow Man Zero, because how many do I need? Did pick up the number one of the second Lives of Dr. Mirage. I didn't have that one, surprisingly enough. Another Bloodshot number one from Infinity Flux. And Bloodshot number one from Infinity Flux. So, Infinity Flux also was flush with some Transformers, Marvel's Transformers to be exact. And these are the ones that I picked up from them for $3 a piece. To me, and maybe somebody in the chat or watching this on the rewind, you can comment down below. But to me, the early issues are easy to find. Everybody's trying to sell the first through fourth issue. And even occasionally those last issues, even though they were much slower print runs, you see them often because they're really desirable. But those issues like 42, 60 something, those, you just don't see those all the time. And so I decided to pick them up. Transformers 65. Number 64. Number 63. Number 61, Locron. 42. $46. Yes, I am, VV. I'm not picking up any of the other IDW titles, but I saw the first issue of King Grimlock, and I said, "Oh, that looks interesting." So yeah, I have picked it up. Then we got, let's see. When I was packing these up earlier, going from Chattanooga to here, I got a little. There you go. Thor number 19, God of Hammers, is here. So obviously this is a play on Odin's talk with Thor in Love and Thunder, where he says, "Are you the God of Hammers?" But this is the first part of God of Hammers. Mjolnir has shown up, is gone missing, despite the fact that he was holding it when he went to find Thor. Nevertheless, it has gone missing. He goes to enlist Odin's help to go try to find it. And all the dwarves are dead. Then we got Yusaki Yojimbo. So there was this spec or whatever behind a new character in Yusaki Yojimbo. I had the toy with my TMNT toys back in the day, but I never really was a big Yusaki fan. So I picked up those ones and I went ahead and read it. And I've been picking up, it's like 3 or 4 issues since. Don't know if I'll keep reading it, but pretty cool. X-Force Killshot number 1. The art is exactly what I expected from Rob Liefeld. It's very Rob Liefeld-esque. And of course, you have all of Rob's creations in here with Deadpool, Cable, Shatterstar, and Major X. Major X being the most recent iteration. And they're all in it. They fight Strife. And they win in the end. You know, the writing was very lackluster at best. Not to say that the writing back in the day was super, awesome or nothing, but that's what it is. Hey, Frito Frog from Twitch. Appreciate you for joining us. We got Star Wars: The High Republic Trail of Shadows, issue number 2. I've kind of been underwhelmed from the High Republic run. It's just not been as much as what I was hoping it would be. They've got some spinoffs like that Trail of Shadows and one that I showed earlier. I haven't read that one, but the Trail of Shadows I have. It is more like a mystery type, detective type deal dealing with the Jedi. So it's really interesting, kind of a different take. X-Force 24. Currently on 25, but somehow or another I missed 24. I still have not set up my new pull list at the LCS yet, and that's how I missed it. But picked that up. Task Force Z #2. So I've been enjoying these Elseworld type stories that DC's been putting out, like Deceased, obviously, and then also the DC versus Vampires deal. So I figured Task Force Z was kind of in that same mythos. It's a little bit different. Meh. Hey, appreciate that, Frito Frog. Appreciate that. The Task Force Z is still interesting enough. It's dealing around Red Hood, so there you go. DC versus Vampires #2, the Matina variant. If you're not reading this, Green Lantern is a vampire. He's able to kind of disguise that by the Green Lantern ring, which is able to reflect that light, the sunlight off. And they're trying to keep it secret. No one knows who the big baddie is yet. Batman brings the Bat family into the deal, spikes their drinks with holy water so that, if they would have been vampires, it would have affected them, made them all wear crosses, all this other kind of stuff that you would expect out of Batman. And in the end, Green Lantern actually kills Flash because he wanted him to come alongside him and turn him, but his boss wouldn't let him because the metabolism, he would go insane. He would just go through the whole world, destroying the whole world essentially, because he would have to have so much blood more than everybody else. I wish I bought this at I bought it at the other smaller store in Dalton, Georgia. I wish I had waited because the Infinity Flux had the foil edition. So there's a foil edition of that and Detective, the newest Detective 1045. Again, I bought that at the smaller store because that was Wednesday, so all the new books were out, and went ahead and picked them all up. I really liked better the way this storyline with Batman saving the mayor, and then they kind of agree to disagree, but then want to exchange information with each other because they ultimately want the same goal, which is a better Gotham. It ended better to me, and I didn't have very high expectations with Mario Tamaki. Now, Dan Moore art, killer. If you get the B covers, you get Lee Bermejo on the covers. Again, super. But the writing, I did not expect much. I liked the way it ended better. It ended on a better note and kind of wrapped things up a lot better than what Fear State and Tynion did. Maybe she's got less to work on. I think it's a she. It's got less to work on than what Tynion currently has. But, try to stay very focused on any fillers. But then, yeah. So yesterday, talking about that, where was I at? It was at Dave's. They had all those a lot of Savage Sword stuff, and they were like $2, $3, not very expensive at all. Yeah, that's a fun run. I'm sure you got the first appearance of Death's Head. I think you do. I normally do not splurge on a ratio variant, especially when they first come out, knowing that generally they come on down in price. But I did last night on Whatnot too. Admittedly, I got the Art Adams 1 in 50 variant. This is the 1 in 25 variant, the Simone Bianchi variant. So pretty dope. So Donny Cates, he's got to take it in a whole new direction, and that's perfectly fine. But what I was mentioning a while ago with Tynion, it just seems that Cates never can finish well. It's very anticlimactic. Hopefully it's not the same with Hulk, but this seems to be his MO. He's a super hype man, gets out there, gets people all excited, and just kind of and then he's off to something else. So he had run his course with Venom for sure, and now he's over to Hulk. So basically the premise is that it's not that Bruce Banner was trying to protect us from Hulk. but rather Hulk was trying to protect us from Bruce Banner. That Bruce Banner is the big bad in the relationship. That's not a new concept. If you've read Hulk from very long, um, you know that it's not a new concept because they've tried that before. But he's using Hulk's anger to power essentially a spaceship. Strange, but it's the first issue. We'll see what goes on with it. So no, when Biggie said that he's Austrian, it made me think of Dumb and Dumber. Where are you from? Austria. Well, good day, mate. Yeah, obviously Austria and Australia, two different places. But, yeah, yeah. The awesome thing is it's a dual-edged sword, right? You know, it's a Conan-sized sword because these foreign editions that some us Americans want, he can get fairly easy, and vice versa. Stuff that we take for granted, he can't get a hold of. So then at the shop in Dalton, I picked up a lot of Gold Key goodies. This is Magnus the Robot Fighter number 33. And I did appreciate the fact that he wrote, and they actually wrote it on the back here too, the number. Because when my CLZ, what happens is I have to scroll through the ones that I don't have to see if this is one of them and match the picture, which can be deceptive because some of the latter issues, when Whitman started taking those over, actually reprint those. What's up, Starscream? Another one of the channel members up in the chat. Man, you must have heard me talking about all them Transformers I picked up. I was showing them off a while ago. This is Magnus the Robot Fighter number 34. Does he not look like Lee Majors right there? And then we got 36. And most of these are in decent shape. This one's kind of a little rough around the edges there. And then we got 38. And we got 29. And then back to Incredible Hulk 190. So this is the first appearance of Glorian, Hulk's little friend that is like a leprechaun. He can grant you wishes and stuff. All right. Let's show this here. We got X-Men number 5. This is a variant. Not sure. But this is obviously a play on Colossus and Logan's fastball special here, but with the lady. Nice little road cover, so decided to pick it up. Magnus, right? House of Slaughter number 2. I like the fact that we're getting a lot of backstory here because sometimes when you start doing these prequel things, it's really underwhelming because you already know what's going to happen to a lot of the people. They're going to die. So, or you know who's not going to die. But this is telling a lot of the backstory about the House of Slaughter and the different versions of, depending on their handkerchiefs, the color of them. Then we got Wolverine number 18. This was a really fun romp. The kind of action you would expect out of a Larry Hama early 90s Wolverine romp. But Ben Percy's still on the writing. Andy Kubert does the covers, but not the interior. But the interior, I mean, it wasn't up to Kubert standards, but I mean, it was still nice enough. It was just a fun little adventure there. And then this is X-Men 5, the Stormbreakers cover. I don't typically get so many different covers. It's not that bad if it's just cover price. Some of them can get pretty pricey, but this was just regular price. I just liked the Cyclops and Jean Grey back-to-back holding hands like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. I've never seen it on YouTube. There, back in the day, was a comic called X-Men like that. There were X-Men. Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 1. Incredible Hulk 176. Got a little 25-cent goodness here. Incredible Hulk 153. Hulk versus everybody. The world, my jury. And then we got some more Transformers goodness. We got Transformers 49. Look at this. Wow, Starscream conquers all. Starscream, why would you do that? Decepticon fights Decepticon. Then we've got Transformers 48, the return of Megatron. 44, the Cosmic Carnival. And I needed issue 4 was the only one I needed to complete the miniseries of Headhunters, Transformers Headhunters, or Headmasters rather. Headmasters. I had one of them. I can't remember which one it was back in the day, but I have the 3 issues. I just didn't have that 4th one. So now I have it. Of course, somebody's going to be looking through and say, oh, that's a pretty cool series. I want to get into that. And then they're going to be missing the 4th one because they have one of each of the others. Turok the Dinosaur Hunter #1. So I got, if you watched my Maui video, I actually picked up a piece where somebody had already drew on this for $5 in Maui. And put them in your box, please. So no, but the reason why I got them, and I typically do pick up those blank sketch covers if I can find them on the cheap. And I think that it's something that around a character, because I wouldn't want to draw like a Spider-Man on a Turok, but some people don't mind that, but I don't like that. So I could probably draw a Magnus and a Turok, get a Magnus and a Turok together on that. But anyway, decided to pick it up. Britannia #4. This is the title that Valiant did. We got a nice David Mack cover there. Divinity #0, and it's the Ninjak versus the Valiant universe. This is the girl that played Livewire in that series, which you can go and look up on YouTube. The whole movie is on YouTube. This is a thing that they done. Jason David Frank, who was the Green Ranger, everybody knows better as the Green Ranger, actually played Bloodshot in it. And it was done so that people could see that the Valiant characters could be, movie rated. And of course, eventually they picked up Bloodshot and all that kind of stuff. But then we got Mr. and Mrs. X #9. Great. All the variant looks of Rogue cover by Terry and Rachel Dotson. Generation Zero #9. Robin 2 #2, The Joker's Wild. And I had a copy. I didn't have this cover, but I like the Batman hologram and then Robin. Joker all over the place there. And this is one you just don't find that often, and to be especially one that I don't have. But this is Magic the Gathering Chandelar issue #1. So found that in the dollar bin. I was like, wow. And they're like, really? So king size Incredible Hulk annual #8. Got this for $3. The cool thing about this is that it's a direct. And so this is a late 70s or early 80s, I can't remember, direct edition where they were just marking through the barcode like that. So definitely would be rarer if that was a big title or big issue. Then we got Incredible Hulk issue, the king size annual #7. Got the Defenders there. Then annual 1998. For a few years, they were just calling them by the year instead of keeping them up with numbers. A brigade. Then we got Incredible Hulk 166. This is the first appearance of Zat, that electrical guy right there. I think that's how you say his name. And then this is, or Zax, that's what it is. Then this was 183. This is the second appearance of Zax. And then I'm not going to show you a couple of ones I bought just to resell, but I will show you this. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And it was like they were running out of names too. Lack of creativity for sure in the writing department. Nocterra #1. Of course, Nocterra has not only been optioned, but it has also got a director. I think it's going to be a Netflix deal. It was a really good read. If you did not read it, obviously the #1s at least are going to be a little more pricey than what they used to be. I don't think they're too terribly bad. I haven't checked since they announced that the other day, but not too terrible a deal. But I bought 2 of these because I plan on giving one away at some point. Aside from just being a $10 trade, is the fact that Scott Snyder and Tony Daniels both signed it. So, so there I will be giving away one of those. One of those is for me, and then the other one was to give away in a future giveaway. We got Starscream dropping the $5, and happy birthday to you, Captain Comics. But Starscream dropping the $5 super chat for some ASM 252 goodness. Appreciate that, Starscream. Sleeping Collectibles, what is going on, man? Check out what I got. Did you see this? The Bat Raptor. Had to have it. Had to have it. So super dope. But we got Starscream dropping that super chat goodness up in here, making it rain in the right direction. Appreciate that, good sir. Appreciate that. Yeah, not much. So, and what he's talking about, of course, is the ASM 252, which is this month's giveaway. And the way you get into that is to either be a channel member or Patreon or through YouTube. The links to both are in the description below. And by that, you're not only, there's other goodies which you can look at through those links, but you get 10 entries per channel membership. And then you also get 1 entry per $1 of super chat given. So Rock City dropping the $5. You're exactly right. You can't win if you don't participate. Appreciate you dropping that and making it rain in the right direction, good sir. And did want to show the channel members, people that are supporting the channel through their monthly membership, either on YouTube and or Patreons in some cases. Most of these people are creators of their own, have their own YouTube and or Instagram pages. If you see a name that you're not familiar with, go check them out, give them a sub up, give them a follow. It doesn't cost you anything. Doesn't cost you anything to do that. But yes, we have reached the end of our first round tomorrow, hitting it bright and early. Plan on going to Great Escape probably first, depending on if the shops here in Franklin open a little earlier. I might go to those ones first. I don't know. But plan on hitting them up bright and early, all the shops that I can, just, doing like Cookie Monster on a Cookie Monster day, just all that kind of good stuff, and getting into all that crazy stuff. Hopefully everybody is having a great and fantastic Thanksgiving out there. I will have another video that is dropping today with my Comic Tom mystery mail call. So if you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification button, then see, I should have contacted you with a catchy little title. There you go. But yeah, so if you're not doing anything, you got some time, just go and watch that later on today. And if you're interested, obviously, and what I got in the Comic Tom Mystery Mail Call that will air at 6 o'clock. Yeah, 6 o'clock Central Time. You hit that bell notification. Hopefully, YouTube will do its job and let you know that. I will not be having an auction this Saturday on the channel because I will be on the road headed back, but plan on being back on board the following Saturday if schedule permitting, which I will be letting y'all know that then. Again, let's see. Give me a metal nut. There you go. There you go. Well, again, I do appreciate everybody for hanging out with us today. Until next time, keep reading, keep collecting, and eating. Adios.